excessive movement of contagion, both of the coronavirus and now what I'm talking about, this disembodied information through virtual reality, speaks to me of Hermes out of proportion. In complementary contrast, a literalized separating out rather than a deepening in announces the lack of our respect for Hestia. So our one-sided approach to life has split a conjoined pair into separates, and we see them in isolation and symptom. To understand this, let's return to ancient Greece and the concept of nu, which was that place between body and heart that is able to perceive the variety of life. To articulate this variety and the dynamic tensions that play through a human life, the Greeks insisted on a pantheon of gods. No one single god, but the gods in interplay, always in contagion with each other. Patterns of interwoven beings, patterns of implication, patterns that are eternally necessary. So Hermes Mercurius is the fleet-footed god with wings on his feet, a cap of invisibility, and winged thoughts. Listen to this. He provides a mythical cosmos for our world's fascination with exchange between people everywhere, hyper-communication and globalism, an emphasis on trade and finance, the instantaneity offered by electronics, and the compulsion to travel. His mercurial nature and lability is a precise and dashing contrast to our monocular view. No longer part of a pantheon, though, he has been raised above all others and is finding profane expression in this rapid, borderless contagion. On a personal level, we experience an excess of Hermes by our days filled with anxiety, fearing to fall behind, never quite catching up, the sense that time is so fast, and life so fleeting. We cannot be where we are, and instead we live in the future, our heads craning forwards and our feet longing for airborne sandals of Hermes. So we live our schedules, not our days, our appointments, not our rhythms, and we are never really present. This leaves us borderless and anxious. Being out of time and place, we experience a loss of certainty and a loss of definition. And we feel ourselves dangerously permeable. In reaction, we swing to the other side, and we're dominated by paranoid purisms like the right-wing rise in America, as well as retreats into intense, self-isolated, self-centeredness. And we worry about our immune systems, and we hate anything invasive, including immigrants. This virus, this coronavirus, acts hermetically, crossing boundaries and borders, infecting all of us indiscriminately through our contact in the air that we breathe. As a reaction, the lockdown demanded a return to our homes, to boundary and to separate ourselves out, to focus our consciousness and to stay pure and uninfected. We were forced in. Here we meet Hestia, the first of all the gods. However, we meet her no longer in sympathetic relationship with Hermes, so we meet her in an extreme. From a perverse eye, this rapid spread of disease and our need for a global lockdown offers the potential for a homeopathic cure. If we are to honor this tragedy, we have to go to the deeper ask to realize this, which is we have to rehome ourselves. Hestia is the archetypal insistence upon interiorizing. She sanctifies the in. As first before all other gods, she was the glowing, warmth-emitting hearth. So first, we have to come back and down and in, stay focused and come home. She is attentive consciousness, not an object seen, but an enlivening and enlightening focus, the sole essence that inhabits everything. In this lockdown, we may be in our houses, but are we home? Neither his father Zeus nor his brother Apollo could tame Hermes. He deceived them both. Nor could the goddesses, the nymphs, and the humans he mated with change him. Those couplings brought about offspring. but they never brought about partnership. Only one of the mythic figures appeared as his counterpart, and that was Hestia. Hestia and Hermes are not husband and wife, nor brother and sister, nor mother and son. They are neighbors, or more importantly, they are friends. Where Hestia is, Hermes will appear. Where Hermes loiters, Hestia will arrive. They are everywhere where people make fire, build walls and roofs, trace limits, and house themselves. Together, they are the gods of orientation and tracing limits. Separately, they become rapid infection and contagion. Like Hermes, Hestia is a quality of mind and heart. She's an invisibility. So Hermes may bring possibilities to mind, but Hestia centers and focuses them. Her consciousness circles upon itself, it goes nowhere. How different from Hermes, always moving from place to place. So it was to Hestia who we went to search out sanctity, to find refuge and stillness. This is really important, so I'm going to read this. Only those processes that have no direct functional use, those that make no connections, communicate nothing, but come from all possibilities. The inwardness of focused life that cannot fall to the seductions of outward temptation, that purify the disciplined attendance so that we self-enclose as a circle. Only this offers the gravity and the counterweight to hermetic intoxication, this viral spread. So to come home and bring Hermes into context, let us put Hestia and the significance of place first. This desire for place, the retreat to home ground, and the search for sanctity suggests a radical alteration in our thinking and feeling. One that elevates place as a refuge against the rapid changes around us. That's really important. Imagine finding our place so that the change may happen without pulling us too far along. The place you are becomes the essential truth of a life, rather than getting on and moving forward. So, putting Hestia first, we take a deep breath in, we center ourselves in the soul, and this promotes an ecological, embedded way of living that is both animistic and polytheistic. This will detoxify the inflation of one God above all others, and hopefully will allow Hermes to return home to the pantheon from which he seems to have sprung free. Thank you.